I want to just ask you a little bit about this intercultural negotiation element, because you had mentioned that that's how you got involved into negotiations. And we say at a certain level, when it comes to negotiations, at that certain level, it doesn't really matter what the culture is, because everybody's at the table looking for the same thing and playing by the same rules. But in your perspective and in your experience, where does culture play a role in negotiations?
Good question there. So I think, I don't want to blanket over all culture, but in general, I think that timing is different from culture to culture. And so when you build relationship versus when you actually do something more transactional happens differently in different cultures. We can also think of gender as a culture. So even if you say one culture, there are so many variations inside of the culture. But in general, I lived in Japan for many years. And so in Japan, you have a much longer period of time of building relationship before you do anything that might be considered transactional. Whereas in the US, we tend to get into the transactional part sooner because we separate personal and business. And so in that professional setting, get in, get the negotiation, get what you need, and now we can have drinks and socialize. But that's not the way it works in Japan. So how much time and when you negotiate, I think, is a big difference from culture to culture. And being aware of that can only do you well in the negotiations.